Hey everybody, Spine Ticks Pressing here, and we've already cracked out Booster Gold number 1, and we've cleaned it, and now we're on to fixing those pressable defects. So make sure you stay tuned, and let's see how it's done. Alright, so this area here, I can still see a shadow of where the crap was. So I'm going to go over it again with the white eraser, and wow, it's really dirty. So I was picking up something on this front cover because the back cover was not nearly as dirty when I checked my white eraser after going over the different areas. But you know, really important, do not ever, like this yellow has a tendency to come off, reds and pinks. So I really, I do not touch them ever with the white eraser. You probably can, but I don't take any risk of it. You can see, if you look at the white eraser after you're done erasing, you can see what you pick up. And then I generally clean it off on the Absorine sponge, or if you can just kind of rub it against some denim, and that cleans off the tip of the eraser nicely. There's still a little bit of crap there, a little residue stain, but I think I've got it. I think it's gone now. So I hit that with Absorine. Really important to get all the eraser shavings off your book and around your book and around your workspace. They tend to get under the pages, and then when you go to press your book, they can come back and bite you in the ass. You just don't want them because they can get up, and you can essentially cook those eraser shavings right into the cover of your book if you're not careful. If you're not careful that you didn't get them all out. All right, so I'm really pleased with the way this book has turned out, especially the removal of that piece of crap. Another thing that I noticed here on this cover, there's a slight indentation right here, real small, runs across the O. It may press out, it may not. We'll see. So I think now I'm going to focus a little bit on these staples, and my first step is going to be to take some backer board like this one right here. I want to make sure it's nice and straight. I'll look at it, it's got a little bit of a bow to it. So I'm just going to kind of work it into a nice flat shape. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it in the middle of the book. And what I'm doing is I'm going to be reinforcing, putting a little bit of pressure on my staples. Now they look fine. I don't really see any issues. This bottom staple, maybe it's a little bit deeper into the book than the top staple. And that's why I've got this weird look to it. So, but what you can do is you can kind of put pressure on the staples. I'm not really putting pressure on the spine, but I'm just kind of putting a little bit of pressure this way with my fingers, and a little bit of pressure from the backer board on that staple. This is the one that bugs me, and I think I'd like to try to just put a little bit of pressure on it. I'm going to reinforce the backer board, and I'm just going to push ever so gently. I just want the staple. I feel like it is actually straightening slightly. So I'm going to try to take a lower angle so that I'm not pushing on the spine. It's kind of a dicey location. Now, definitely when I'm putting my pressure from my bone on the staple, I can see the staple straighten. I'm going to try to roll it a little bit. I'm going to put some consistent pressure on it. See if we can get it to move a little bit. I feel like I'm Getting a little bit of the curve out of it. Not much. Not real pleased with that. It didn't really seem to do much. Yeah, this bottom staple's just really... So I've got my silicone paper, and you always want to use this with the backer board underneath the cover whenever you're going to do any tack iron work. This is my tack iron that I have. I like it. I think there are some better ones for sure that you can adjust the temperature a little bit better, but I found that I really don't need much heat, so I, for the most part, always keep it on low. This corner looks noticeably better from this angle. Not sure if it looks better on the inside. You can see it's curled up a little bit. The heat curled it. Yeah, from the inside I still can see those little indentations, but it's much better. I don't know how to explain that. It's just really a bizarre little curl that's in there. Spine ticks, spine stress lines, I can't even see where they were. I honestly can't now. After going over that with the... I could see one down there, but I really didn't go over the bottom very much. I might go over that again. So I'm going to use on this little red spot this white eraser pencil in conjunction with this little shield. So I'm going to kind of shield the Canada from it, and I'm just going to go over it very gently with the white eraser until I can get it out completely. It is, without question, it's fading off the page. And what I don't want is I don't want to take any of that lettering with it. This is almost invisible to the naked eye. I can still see where it was. So I'm going over it in this little area, and I am amazed that this came out. They usually do. These type of little discolorations can come right off with a white eraser. I think a white eraser is a great tool, and I could still see it, but I don't think somebody's going to notice that. The only way you'll notice that is if you were to look at the book with a microscope. Defects, taking out the spine ticks on the back, taking out that color piece, taking off that glue there, clean the book. It's got a nice, at least the back has a nice look to it. Here is a unscented dryer sheet, and I'm going to hit the front cover with it. Just give it a little bit of sheen. how to restore the gloss to the book. All right, so we're going to go with a 100-pound magazine size backer board in the center. I'm going to go with a 65-pound piece of cardstock under the front cover and the same under the back cover. All right, so I'm going to press this book for 160 at 160 degrees for a total of 15 minutes. Going to apply a little bit of steam along the spine, a little bit in this area right in here, because I've got a couple little indentations I'd like to remove. And same thing on the back, just run it along the spine. Okay, bottom sheets down. More of the creases are on the front cover, so the front cover is going to be placed in the press upward. So at this point, I'm going to run the spine through my steamer. It's just a clothing steamer. Just going to apply a little bit of moisture to the... All right. So before I run it, I'm going to check my cardstock, make sure it's all in there well. Sometimes it's difficult to do this. Three sheets in, so sometimes I'll take one out, like so. And you want to make sure that the front cover and the back cover sheets are in there properly. And I've got my centerfold piece in there. My backer board is in the center. All right, so I feel real good about the book, the cardstock in the book. So I want to make sure I've got a nice centered placement on my press. And I'm going to put my top sheet down. It's tricky. My sheets come out of a rolled up thing, so it's a little bit tricky to get them out. All right, I'm going to put my top sheet down. And I am ready to press my books. I'm going to go 160 degrees, 15 minutes, and then turn off the press. And then it's going to sit in my press for 24 hours minimum. Now, pressure-wise, you want it to be light. I read the other day, somebody said this, and I think it's pretty good. A small child should be able to open and close your press. It should be, the pressure should be that light. It's really not about crushing the book. And so I feel like there's a little bit too much pressure now. So I'm going to lighten it up. Good. I like the pressure of that. All right, so the press is going. Here we go. Let's open up the press and let's take the book out for examination. So the book has been sitting in the press for over 24 hours. There it is. You can see Booster Gold right on top. let's do this since I only have one hand. Let's take off the top. Let's do a preliminary look at it. If I can get a little more lighting up here, it looks pretty good. Okay, we've got it out on the table. Gonna do a little preliminary examination of it. Front cover looks great. Spine looks great. Corners look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the appearance of the corners. That piece of crap is gone now. The little red mark on the price Common Code Authority area is gone. Let's take out our paper. I can see visibly down in here, I still see a little bit of curl. I don't know if that's regression or if I'm just seeing things. But let's take the camera out and let's get down there real close. So I don't know if you can see that. I can see a little bit of a curl. Seems to be evident still on that bottom corner. But all in all, this book looks much improved. I was actually expecting to put it in the press again for a second run. And I don't know if it's necessary, to be honest with you. I really don't. I might do it just to see if I can get this little curl out. It's really, really minor. But I do notice it. You know, the one thing I've noticed that the more you work on books, the better you get at just noticing every little defect. So you can see as I move up on that corner, see it's curled, 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 and then right about there, it flattens out. Yeah, cover of the book looks pretty solid. All right, let's take a look at the back side of the book. Hey, thank you for tuning in and checking out this video. If you like other videos like this, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. This book is now on its way back to CGC, and let's see if we can get a grade bump from that 9.4 up to who knows what. So thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And as always, happy hunting. Check out these exciting links for even more great content.